I'm visiting some friends up in Sheffield. Now, these are the friends whose olive trees I rescued last year, and I can happily report that the olive trees are doing incredibly well, unlike their little garden pond, which is just around the corner of the house. Now, it's looking a little bit tired, but it's full of life, and I'm going to give you a little guided tour of this faded glory in a pond. And these are their olive trees outside their back door. And if you want to see how we got these results, I'll drop the link in the description box below this video. And the pond is around the other side of their house. This is the parterre at the front where I did that short intro from. And then we'll venture around the side of the house and have a look at that little miniature garden pond. Now, somebody at some point in time has put a lot of love and affection into this little space at the side of the house. There's the pond. Now, their garden is built on a very steep hill, so this is all terraced coming down. And I will show you in a little bit more detail in a moment. The pond is at the bottom here, and then we have some stepping stones going over. Now, originally, the water was pumped up to the top and it cascaded back down here and then through, and you could walk over the water on these stepping stones. Let's get a little bit closer, and you can see here those stepping stones. Look, 1, 2, 3 going over to the side. That's the little cascade there. Imagine that when it was water was teeming down there and splashing down here. And in fact, you can see the pond liner. The pond liner is in underneath there and goes all the way up to the top. I'll have a look. I'll go up there in a moment. We'll have a look from that terrace, looking back down. Lots of irises starting to come up here. And in the pond itself, lots of pond plants, including water lilies over there and oxygenators. And then down here, I mentioned on the thumbnail that this pond is teeming with life. Just look at this. I'll wet my hand first. And then look, if I put my hand under here, those are all tadpoles. They get loads and loads of frog spawn. And now look at this. That is a water snail. It's absolutely teeming with little bits of life, Daphne, and all kinds of invertebrates in there. There's another water snail. Look at the size of that one. Wonderful, all doing a brilliant job. It's full of leaves as well. I would imagine there's lots of leeches in there. So let's have a step back and then let's venture up to the top and get an aerial view. Now, it looks a bit sad, it looks a bit tired. It's obviously home to amphibians. I dare say there's probably newts and toads in the vicinity. There's a public footpath going up here and there's woods at the back. But it is a little bit tired. But when I look at this, I don't feel sad. I feel really rather excited, because if I was here, I would spend a few weeks on this, and within a few weeks, this would evolve into something really rather wonderful, as it probably used to be. Right, let me go up to the top and then I will outline what I would do. And I would build it on the same principle of having a cascading waterfall coming down here. Sadly, the weed fabric is on display. And I don't mind weed fabric because it does help in certain areas of the garden for low maintenance, but I don't like it when it gets revealed like this. It's really rather ugly, but it can be dealt with quite quickly. Right, so here we are at the top of the hill, looking down. That's the road there outside the house. Now, if this was my garden, I would have a pond here, but I would start again and I would double the size of it. It would go all the way around there. Then I would have a bridge over it, and that bridge would lead to this staircase of stepping stones. And I would take all this away. I'd keep all these rocks, absolutely for certain. And I would build on these terraces. I'd keep the terraces. I think that the idea of having terraces is great. I'd probably dig out and line a few of these terraces with some pond liner, which I would put the fork through and then refill with very organic material. And I would probably plant bog plants in there. So you could have a series of bog plants on either side. going up here. It is quite shady here, so it does lend itself to having a shade-loving plant. And then I would redo this, dig it all out, reline it, put some more liner in, and then have a fresh pump down there that pumps the water, quite a good flow of water, and have it babbling all the way over the rocks. And the pond liner would be invisible. You would just not see pond liner. One of the things I don't like is being able to see pond liner, so I would make sure the pond liner was invisible. I really like this idea of stepping stones, so possibly I would keep that going across a diagonal corner of the pond next to the bridge, so you could come up one side and you could go down the other side. But look at this. You can tell this is shady up here. Isn't this beautiful? These rocks, aren't they wonderful? Covered in moss. Absolutely beautiful. The husk of the shell of an acorn. Wonderful. Of course, don't forget, it is springtime, so this is yet to burst into life. It's almost like a project that just is waiting to be done. Right, I wonder if we could go a little bit further up higher. Up here, carefully. Nice Fatsia japonica there. And again, look down. There's the pond in the distance. And again, we have another level here. You could have a viewing platform with a roof on it, like treetops almost, where you could stand up here, looking down over the water. Quite wonderful. And there's the side garden, the back garden, and the other side garden. Right, let's go down back to the pond and then we'll call it a day. But I just wanted to share with you my good friend Ian and Craig's pond at the side of their house in Sheffield. Sad, tired, seen better days. Actually, in some people's eyes, maybe even a bit of an eyesore, but teeming with life.